Do you know what a data broker knows about you right now? Data brokers are companies that buy, combine, and sell your personal information, and they use methods similar to what I'm about to show you. Here's a simple test. Go to Google and search your full name plus your city. Now add quotation marks around it and see what comes up. Most people are surprised by what they find, but that's just the beginning. Beyond basic search results, you'll find property records and court filings that reveal intimate details about your life. Today, I'm going to walk you through the exact steps someone would take to build a comprehensive profile of your digital life. And you'll see exactly how easy it is for someone to build your profile and what you can do about it. You'll be surprised how much personal detail shows up in minutes. The Google Search Reality Check. Let's examine what this basic search approach actually reveals about you. That search you just tried probably returned your LinkedIn profile, maybe a Facebook page, and perhaps an old news article mentioning your name. Most people see these familiar results and think they understand their digital exposure. They assume Google shows the obvious stuff and nothing more concerning appears in those first few pages of results. The systematic approach that actually reveals your information works differently. Start with your name plus city, then layer in terms like address or court to unlock records. Each variation pulls different information from Google's massive index. The search operators most people never use tell a different story than that basic name search. Professional investigators combine your name with specific terms that change everything. They use site-specific searches to check platforms systematically rather than hoping for random results. Property records appear showing your current address, previous addresses, the price you paid for your house, and when you bought it. Google indexes county assessor sites with sale prices and past addresses, creating a comprehensive property history. These records often include your neighbors' names and property values throughout your neighborhood. People search engines like White Pages, Spoko, and Been Verified take this further by aggregating information automatically. They pull from voter rolls, court filings, and business licenses to create profiles that include your age, relatives' names, previous addresses going back decades, and associated phone numbers. These sites compile data from dozens of public databases without requiring your permission. Court records reveal another layer most people never consider. Even if you've never been arrested or sued, your name appears in legal documents more often than you realize. Legal filings, from divorces to bankruptcy, become searchable public records. Business incorporations and even traffic violations create a permanent digital record. The photo search function reveals a visual timeline of your life that extends far beyond your social media posts. Images from workplace events, charity functions, local news stories, school activities, and public gatherings create a comprehensive photo record. These images often include captions with names, dates, and locations that add context to your other information. What makes this particularly concerning is how all these pieces connect together like a puzzle. Your address links to your property value and mortgage information. That property value suggests your income range. Your income range connects to lifestyle patterns that show up in other records. Business registrations reveal professional relationships. Court records show personal relationships and financial situations. Each piece of information validates and expands the others. This Google search technique shows that your digital footprint includes far more than your active online posts and social media profiles. Public records, government databases, business filings, and legal documents create a comprehensive profile that exists whether you use the internet regularly or not. But here's what makes this even more significant. This manual Google search method represents the amateur approach to finding personal information. Google covers only what's publicly indexed, while professional data brokers operate sophisticated systems that access proprietary databases with much deeper data points than anything available through standard search engines. The data broker machine. Companies like Acxiom and LexisNexis maintain detailed files about your shopping preferences, family relationships, and political leanings. You might wonder how this happens when you've never directly shared this information with these businesses. The answer lies in an entire industry that operates mostly in the shadows, collecting and trading personal data as their primary business model. Data brokers specialize in gathering, analyzing, and selling personal information about individuals. These companies work behind the scenes, pulling data from hundreds of different sources without requiring your direct permission or even your knowledge. They build comprehensive profiles by combining information from public records, commercial databases, and digital tracking systems that monitor your online activities through cookies and tracking pixels across multiple platforms and websites. Here's what makes this particularly concerning. These companies often know intimate details about your life that even your closest friends and family members don't know. They infer your political affiliation and health concerns from purchase patterns, creating profiles that reveal your deepest preferences and vulnerabilities. This creates a detailed picture of your daily routines, preferences, and lifestyle choices that goes far beyond what you consciously share. Major data broker companies like Acxiom, LexisNexis, and Epsilon maintain active profiles on virtually every American adult. These profiles contain your estimated income level, detailed spending habits, hobby interests, health concerns, religious affiliations, and civil group memberships. They know which brands you prefer, how often you shop online versus in stores, and even your typical spending amounts for different categories of purchases. From grocery loyalty cards to warranty registrations, every form you fill can feed their profiles. They also purchase data from credit bureaus, marketing companies, and other businesses that collect customer information. Every time you complete a form, make a purchase, or sign up for a service, that information potentially flows into their massive databases. The legal framework allows this extensive data collection because most of it falls under what's called legitimate business interest. Most terms of service grant these companies broad rights to collect, analyze, and sell your personal information to third parties. These legal structures give data brokers broad permission to operate without your explicit consent. What makes this system particularly invasive is how these companies use algorithms to infer information you never directly provided to anyone. They analyze your purchase patterns to predict your likelihood of getting divorced, determine your political party affiliation, and estimate your health conditions based on pharmacy visits and product purchases. These predictions become part of your profile alongside the factual data they've collected. Data brokers then sell access to these detailed profiles to marketers and landlords, while insurance companies use this data to assess risk levels. Your personal information becomes a commodity that gets bought and sold without your knowledge or consent. The data broker industry functions as a massive intelligence network that creates psychological and behavioral profiles by combining public records with commercially available information. These profiles influence the advertisements you see, the credit offers you receive, and sometimes even the job opportunities that come your way. But even when you think you're controlling your digital footprint through privacy settings, the reality is more complex than most people realize. Social media's hidden exposure. Social media platforms track far more than what appears in your posts or stories. On Facebook, even if your posts are private, the platform still logs every reaction, comment, and time spent on content. Every time you like a post, comment on something, or even just scroll past content, that action gets recorded and analyzed. The platform tracks how long you spend reading different types of posts, which photos you look at the longest, and your clicks and hovers. They record what you look at and how long you pause. This behavioral data reveals your interests, emotional responses, and thought patterns more accurately than the content you deliberately choose to share. Facebook's advertising platform demonstrates just how detailed these profiles become. Facebook can target you around personal milestones, moving, relationship changes, by inferring major life events from your behavior patterns and the content you engage with. Marketers can reach you based on your relationship status, job title, and hundreds of other specific characteristics that the platform determines through your activity rather than information you directly provided. The photos you upload contain metadata that creates a comprehensive record of your movements and activities. This metadata includes the exact GPS location where each photo was taken and the precise timestamp of when you took the picture. Even after you delete posts, this location and timing data persists in the platform's databases. Someone analyzing this information could reconstruct your daily schedule, identify your regular hangout spots, and map your social connections based on when and where you take photos with different people. Your friend connections provide another rich source of data that platforms analyze extensively. They examine your social networks to predict your political views, interests, and purchasing behavior based on the characteristics of people you're connected to. Meta confirms they infer interest from your friends' behaviors, showing how network data profiles you. If most of your friends share certain political content, the platform assumes you hold similar views. If your connections frequently engage with fitness content, you get categorized as health conscious. This analysis happens automatically and influences the content and advertisements you see across the platform. Third-party applications that connect to your social media accounts represent another significant privacy concern. These apps often request broad permissions that give them access to your friend list and personal posts. Once you grant these permissions, these external companies can use your data for their own purposes, potentially selling it to other organizations or using it for marketing campaigns you never agreed to participate in. Your Facebook actions ripple across Instagram and YouTube, building a unified profile that extends far beyond any single platform or service. This creates a comprehensive view of your online behavior that connects your activity across completely different websites and applications. Social media platforms operate as sophisticated surveillance systems that build comprehensive behavioral profiles regardless of your privacy settings. Even beyond social media, your digital habits leave more clues than you might imagine. Your digital routine revealed. Location tracking operates through systems that most people never realize are constantly active. Even with location services turned off, cell tower pings and Wi-Fi scans build a day-by-day map of your movements. Google gathers location data through GPS, creating a comprehensive record that shows exactly where you go throughout each day, how long you stay in different places, and which routes you take between locations. Someone analyzing this data could determine where you live, where you work, which gym you attend, and even which friends you visit most often. According to data privacy analyses, Amazon logs your search terms, purchase activity, and reviews, revealing life events like trips and relationships. Someone analyzing your purchase history could tell when you start dating someone new based on changes in your spending patterns, restaurant choices, and gift purchases. They could predict when you're planning a trip by tracking luggage purchases, travel guides, and booking confirmations. Purchase of medical supplies can trigger health inferences based on changes in buying patterns. Your search queries and watch history build a psychological profile of your interests and state of mind. Google keeps track of your search terms, videos you watch, and interactions with content and advertisements. The timing of your searches matters just as much as the topics themselves. Late-night health searches suggest anxiety about medical issues. Job-related searches during work hours indicate career dissatisfaction. The amount of time you spend on certain pages reveals which topics truly interest you versus those you just glance at casually. Fitness trackers and health apps know your sleep patterns, exercise routines, and intimate details about your health and relationships. This data gets used by insurers to model risk, often in aggregated or anonymized form that can still be cross-referenced with other data sources. Your heart rate patterns during different activities, sleep quality measurements, and exercise frequency all contribute to profiles that predict your health risks and lifestyle choices. Media platforms use viewing patterns, genre, and timing to infer personality traits. They know if you prefer comedies when you're stressed, documentaries when you're curious, or dramas when you're relaxed. This information gets used to predict everything from your political views to your spending habits. Because entertainment choices correlate strongly with personality traits and demographic characteristics, the combination of all these data sources creates what researchers call a behavioral profile. This virtual representation of your life can predict your behavior with surprising accuracy by analyzing patterns across multiple platforms and services. Your behavioral profile knows your schedule better than you do, understands your preferences more clearly than your friends do, and can forecast your decisions more accurately than you might expect. These digital activities create comprehensive records that reveal intimate details about your life, relationships, and future plans. But here's what makes this particularly concerning. All of this information gets stored permanently. The permanent record problem. Only about 2% of global data is ever deleted. Everything else persists indefinitely. What you did online 5 or 10 years ago can still impact your life today in ways you never expected. A photo you posted in college, a comment you made during a heated political discussion, or even a location check-in from a night out can resurface when you least expect it. Your digital footprint becomes a permanent record that follows you through job applications, relationships, and major life decisions, often surfacing at the worst possible moments. Think about that social media post you made after a bad breakup, or the political opinion you shared during a controversial news event. These moments of emotional expression become permanent parts of your digital history. Employers now routinely conduct social media background checks that go far beyond your current profiles. They use specialized background services that can find deleted posts, old accounts, and even comments you made on other people's content years ago. These services can recover posts you thought were permanently deleted and connect accounts you forgot you created. The Wayback Machine and Archive. Today preserves snapshots of web pages, social media profiles, and online content even after you delete it. Research shows these archives save snapshots of web content indefinitely. Your old blog posts, forum comments, and social media activity remain accessible through these archives. Someone researching your background can access versions of your profiles from years ago, complete with photos, posts, and comments you removed long ago. Courts reference social posts and metadata in legal cases with increasing frequency. Divorce proceedings, custody battles, and even criminal cases now regularly include social media posts, location data, and online activity as evidence. Your digital activity becomes part of the legal record, influencing decisions about child custody, alimony, and other major life outcomes. Your digital reputation affects real-world opportunities in ways that previous generations never had to consider. College admissions officers check applicants' social media profiles before making acceptance decisions. Loan officers review online activity to assess creditworthiness and character. Dating prospects research potential partners through social media searches and background check websites. Even landlords now screen tenants by examining their online presence and digital reputation scores. The most disturbing aspect is how context gets lost over time. A joke that made sense 5 years ago might seem offensive today, or a personal struggle you shared might be misinterpreted by future viewers who lack the original context. Social and cultural standards change, but your old posts remain frozen in time without the surrounding circumstances that made them appropriate when you first shared them. Data breaches mean that even information you thought was private or deleted can suddenly become public years later. A 2022 study found 67% of identity theft victims face a digital takeover, showing how breaches make old content resurface. Personal emails, private messages, and account information from services you forgot about can appear in data dumps that get shared across the internet. Your digital footprint creates a permanent, searchable record of your life that can be accessed and misinterpreted years later, affecting opportunities and relationships in ways that traditional privacy concepts never anticipated. Understanding this reality becomes essential when you realize that standard privacy approaches weren't built for this comprehensive data collection environment. The scale of data collection requires a different approach to digital privacy. As the data growth forecast shows, public and brokered data outpaces user controls, making traditional privacy settings insufficient protection against comprehensive profiling systems. Start by searching for yourself using the techniques I showed you, then take concrete action. Use People Search opt-out guides, delete old accounts, and install privacy tools to reduce your exposure. Consider a service that sends removal requests to over 200 broker sites, since manually removing your information from data broker sites becomes overwhelming when done individually. The goal isn't to become invisible online, but to be intentional about what digital footprint you create. Understanding what's out there is the first step toward better digital security. If you found this eye-opening, hit subscribe and comment which step you'll take first.